Peace. Peace to everyone. Happy Sunday. It is windy this morning in New York. So I just wanted to walk and talk with y'all a little bit this morning. So just to give a little bit more of my background story as of this year. As I told you a little bit in the previous video, I was recently diagnosed with hypertension. And it's a lot of things that came into play with that. Number one, it's important to pay attention to your health. Pay attention to your body. Nobody should know your body more than you. I always lived a healthy lifestyle, so I would have never thought that I would develop hypertension. I don't even know how long I had it. I don't know how long I even had hypertension. It could have been something that I had for a while. It could have been something that developed through time as I got older. But what I do know is that it had nothing to do with my eating habits. So don't let a doctor or anyone else tell you that hypertension is only caused by eating too much salt. That's a myth. That's not necessarily always true. Okay? We have to start figuring some of these things out on our own. Reading is important. Doing research is important. Because sometimes doctors are not going to always tell you certain things. So I don't know how long I was walking around like a ticking time bomb, but what I do know is that I started feeling very overwhelmed, and my body, I was feeling off for a while. And I finally went, one situation happened where I went and they told me my blood pressure was to the roof. And I held on to that in the back of my mind. And I said, okay, that was just the first situation. So, I don't want to say I didn't think nothing of it, because I did. But it took, about another month or so for me to say, you know what, let me go to the doctor. And that's what I did. So, with that being said, I developed, which I inherited, and I'll say that again, I inherited hypertension from my father, but also it's people on my mother's side that suffer from hypertension as well. My mother's father, all of my uncles, so it's hereditary in my situation. Everybody's situation is different, but in my situation, it was definitely hereditary. So since I've always been an inquisitive person, and I've always been the type of person that seeks knowledge and always wants to know more. I started doing research, trying to figure things out. And that's what you need to do. If there's something going on with your body, something going on with you, you want to find out, number one, try to figure out what the root cause is. And I'm not saying don't listen to a doctor, because we all need doctors to back us up in one way or another. Try to find out what the root cause of it is. Now, if you have certain things going on with you, you got to figure out what the root cause is it your diet? Because some things are caused by diet, but it's important to try to figure it out, and it's always best to try to take the holistic approach to anything that's going on with you. Because who wants to be subject to taking a whole bunch of pharmaceutical medication? Nobody. Nobody should, and it should be something that shouldn't be done long term. But when it comes to your health, you can't be lazy. It might be different diets, different lifestyles, different things you have to try. You have to think outside of the box. It might be some things that you don't like. You know, it's certain herbs that are very bitter, you know, but are good for you. So sometimes you have to think outside the box and just say to yourself, you know what, this might not taste good, but I know it's good for me. So, you know, I'm going to eat it. And you got to go ahead and do it. I suffered from anemia, iron deficiency, for a very long time, since I was like a teenager. But as I got older, I started, you know, doing research, and for a while, I couldn't afford really to go back and forth to the doctors and stuff like that. So I had to try to figure a way to feel better, and what can I do to get better. So, you know, I started doing research. I say, you know what, this iron deficiency problem that I have is really out of control. It's making me feel like I'm a walking zombie. I had no energy. I just didn't feel like doing nothing. Some days I couldn't even get up out of the bed in the morning, to be honest with you. So it was a lot of times I was calling out from work, and I was a manager at a particular job. My boss really didn't understand. It was a time where it was close to me getting fired because I just couldn't function properly. And I said to myself, you know what, it gotta be something I could do about this. And I started doing research, you know, and I was a vegetarian back then. So that was one of the issues that was contributing to my anemia, you know, not getting any better, because for those of you that don't know, vegetables and fruits are good, but they don't have a particular type of vitamin or nutrient that some meats do. So, for years I, just ignored it and I didn't want to eat meat. And the only way that I healed my anemia, which is in my situation, I'm not telling anybody else that's a vegetarian or a vegan that your lifestyle is not right. I'm just telling you what was right for me and what wasn't right for me. And I had to start eating meat again. I had to. And as soon as I started eating meat, red meat, my iron levels skyrocketed to the roof. And incorporating that still with lots of vegetables and leafy greens and supplements and things like that, I'm no longer anemic. My iron deficiency is no more. But that came along with doing research, putting in the time, trying to figure it out, going against my practices because, I was a vegetarian for years and I had to just try something else different, do something else different. And that's what I did. So with my blood pressure, the hypertension issue that I have, I'm also working on that as well. And unfortunately, I have Hashimoto disease, which is hypothyroidism, which also is very debilitating for the body as well. That's something that is going to take a long journey to fix. If I ever can reverse it or put it into remission. That also may be one of the causes for my hypertension. So the things I'm doing to try to fix my hypertension and regulate my levels are, I'm doing a keto diet. And when you have Hashimoto disease, it's a thyroid problem. You have low thyroid function, which also one of the main symptoms are your metabolism is very slow and sluggish. But with the ketogenic diet, I'm losing weight, which is something I've never seen a scale move down. I've seen it move up, but I've never seen it move down in over a decade. So the topic of this discussion is sometimes we have to go outside of our comfort zone and think outside of the box and put forth that extra effort to see what works for us. Nothing else worked for me. I tried AIP, that didn't work for me. I tried the paleo approach, that didn't work for me. I tried low carb diet, that didn't work for me. I tried so many different things and so many different ways of eating. Vegetarian, vegan, I've tried it all. But I've never tried the keto diet until 2 months ago. And it was the best decision that I could have ever made. Why? Because I also, this year, developed lymphedema in my legs. Where my legs would literally triple in size. And that I'm starting to see improvements in my legs. I'm seeing improvements in, like I said, my ability to now be able to shed some pounds. I'm seeing improvement in the brain fog that I had, the concentration that I lacked, I now have. The irritability that I was feeling 24/7, 7 days a week, I don't have no more. But I do have my days, which everybody does, but it's not an everyday thing. I'm feeling more energetic. I'm even starting to feel like, I wake up early, and I get things done, and I feel great. Like, I really feel great. So, with that being said, I just basically wanted to say, I feel with education, a lot of motivation, and if you have that willpower, I feel like you can do anything that you put your mind to. I'm on pharmaceutical medication for the moment. That's something that with time, once I feel like my body gets in balance, and I continue to practice the healthy routine and habits that I have. Exercise is important too, but I'm not a big exercise person. I'm gonna just be honest. But one of the things that my cardiologist told me is you have to move around. That's important. So circulation, walking around. I have a sit-down job at work, but I don't sit down all day. I get up on every break that I have, and every chance that I get while I'm home. This morning, I just took a walk, and I came and sat down in the park, and I'm going to walk back home. Even though I have a car, I do not drive it every single second of every single day. You have to move around. And that's what I've been doing also too. That's another thing that is like vital to my livelihood, is some form of movement. So with that being said, I'm not going to be on medication for the rest of my life. That's not my... Y'all, it is windy. So I am so sorry. It is a lot of wind blowing. But it's windy and it's chilly. But I love to be out in the element and breathe in that fresh air. I don't know how fresh it is, but you get what I'm saying. It's really good for your body and your system to get out in nature, especially this time of year, where the air is not thick, the air is brisk, and you do your walk early and get it over with, before everyone in the world starts to wake up and move around, and you have, less toxic air to breathe in, because it's, in the morning time early, it's not that many cars running, so you're not breathing in a whole bunch of toxic air. But yeah, that's not my intention to stay on medication forever. I intend to do everything in my power to cure, or I don't want to say cure, I just want to say eliminate me having high blood pressure like I did the anemia. And I just want to tell you, listen to your doctor, take advice from your doctor, take your medication if you have to, until you figure out a way to try to lean more towards the natural and holistic approach of life. I'm not telling anybody to not take their medication. I'm not telling anybody not to listen to their doctors. But what I am telling you is to think outside of the box. Don't be lazy when it comes to your health. Take the proper steps that you have to take. Work hard. Make that a priority to keep your health in check. Because ain't nobody going to love you the way that you should love you. And with that being said, I'm going to talk to y'all in the next video. But before I go, do me a favor and hit that like button. And please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow my channel and make it a channel to where people who want to further educate themselves on holistic health and wellness have a platform where they can come to and get some added knowledge that they may be lacking. And I need everyone's help with that. So don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so that way when I do upload videos, you guys will be the first to know. And if nobody told you that they love you, know that I do. And I will see you guys again in the next video. Until then, peace and love.